Hi, I'm Ember. Welcome back to my channel and I hope you're doing well. Anyone who has tried to submit a request for me to react to something recently may have noticed that my request form is currently closed and no longer taking requests. That is because in the last year or so that it's been open, I have received over 1,000 responses, which is about 950 more than I expected to get over the course of a year. It really did take off, and thank you guys so much for anyone who has submitted a request for me to react to something. It's been about a year and 4 months now since I started reacting to K-pop and just getting into K-pop in general, and it has been such a blast. Thanks to you all, I have discovered so many groups and songs that I just absolutely adore. Without you, I wouldn't have even discovered 80s and, gone to Korea on stage in London to see them live, and I wouldn't be going to see them for their full concert next month. I wouldn't have had a fan call with Yosang. Like, there's so many things that have had, like, it's been like this knock-on effect from starting to react to K-pop through this form. So huge thank you to everyone who has submitted something. I do apologize if I've not managed to react to a request that's come through, but I want you to know that I do appreciate them nonetheless. So I would like to continue reacting to K-pop going forward into 2025, which means I need to ditch the old form because it is just a mess. And I have made a new one which will be both easier to keep organized, easier to find what I'm looking for, and easier to keep people accountable for what they put in the request form as well. That new form is now live. It is in the description box for this video, and it will be in the description box for every video going forward for me to react to either K-pop or a BL series, something like that. Mostly K-pop, but I have kind of put in the BL aspect as well. This video is going to be going over the kind of rules and guidelines to do with the new form, as well as a kind of guide on how to submit a request on the new form for anyone who may need it. So this is what it will look like, hopefully, when you click on the link in the description box. As you can see, there's a lot more rules and there's more fields to fill out, but we're going to go through it together. So please read the rules before making a request. It is important that you follow these rules, otherwise, at the bare minimum, your request will likely be ignored, and at a more severe level, you may end up getting blocked or banned from making requests or comments on my channel, things like that. I put on there that your email address and username won't be shared with anyone except myself and any appointed moderators of the form. I don't currently have mods for the form, but I have had offers from people who are willing to mod for me, and I am going to see how it goes by myself for the next kind of couple of months, but I may appoint moderators who will then be able to see everything that is put on the form. But your details do not get shared outside of kind of moderating the form and for me to organize and keep people accountable. I have limited how many links you can send for a request. Now, originally I put on here 1 link per request, and then I thought, firstly, that's a pain in the ass for you guys to submit like 1 form for every link. I have to do that for the GMM TV shows if I want to get them unblocked by GMM TV. They limit it to 1 link per form, so I often have to submit the form multiple times and it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to do that to you guys. But also, when requesting a new group that I haven't looked into before, I always say please try to submit like 5 songs so that they can get their own video. So it made sense to be able to allow at least 5. But one of the issues I had with the old form is that people were submitting 30 to 50 links in 1 request. So it would look like there's 1,000 requests, but actually, one of those could have up to 50 links. And that was just this massive wall of text with links. So I did kind of want to limit it. You can submit the form multiple times if you do want to submit more than 8 links. But just for the purpose of this, I have said no more than 8 links. If you do submit more than 8 links in 1 request, then the request will be ignored. It is important to kind of respect the guidelines that make it easier for me to organize the form. And if you're not willing to do that, then I'm probably not going to prioritize reacting to your request. It's not a crazy difficult rule to follow, I think, so I'm hoping that people will just respect that and just limit it to 8 links per request. If you do go over, then your request will be ignored. For people that were submitting kind of 30 links to TikToks and all sorts going on in 1 form, I think maybe just prioritize out of that like what you want me to react to, because I need to be kind of realistic in terms of what I'm able to react to. So yeah, rule 2, no more than 8 links in your form, but you can submit more than one form. Part of this rule as well says they must all be connected to the same group, artist, or series. So again, 8 links in one form is fine, but they should all be relating to the same group. So again, it just kind of helps me organize it if all of the links in one request are for the same group. If you do have kind of 2 different groups that you want me to react to, then that would be 2 separate forms that you would submit. At the moment, I'm currently only accepting requests to react to K-pop and BL. I have made the occasional exceptions, so I've reacted to And Team, which are a Japanese group, and there are certain series that I've reacted to that are GLs and non-BL series. So I have made the occasional exception, but normally that's on my own grounds. For the purpose of this form, I would really only accept a request for K-pop and BL, and they're the ones that I'm going to be focusing on. And again, if you want a group to get their own dedicated video, I will need at least 4 songs to react to. 4 or 5 is preferable, especially if you're recommending me like a new group that I've not looked into before. That's really helpful to kind of get their own video. They would need 4 or 5 songs to look into. If they don't have 4 songs because they're a new group or something like that, then you can submit 1 or 2, but just bear in mind they're not going to get their own video. It will probably be when I do like a compilation video, they will go in there. I do also accept requests for guides, quizzes, challenges, and games. This is new. This isn't something that I've really made clear before, but whenever I have been recommended them by you guys, I've actually had a blast and they've been really fun. I really enjoyed the Christmas one that I just did in the K-pop Christmas video for this year. I did like a save one, drop one, and it was like really fun to do. So anything like that that's K-pop or BL related, you can send my way as well. Please only submit things you want me to react to. That sounds really like silly and obvious, but the amount of times I get either just a comment without a request and it's just someone telling me something about the group, or I get people send me stuff and say you can watch this in your own time. That happens a lot. And it really does contribute to clogging up the request form. It's important to note that this is specifically a form to request I react to something on my channel. So if you just want to tell me something about a group, you can leave that comment on YouTube or any of my Patreon videos, anything like that. I will still see it. If you want me to watch something in my own time, again, that can go in a YouTube comment or on Patreon. Now we get into the really important rules where people need to pay attention because this can get you banned from submitting further requests and maybe even from commenting on my YouTube channel. Solo stands, haters, and toxic comments will not be tolerated. If you post any comments that put down a group or any member of that group, your username will be used to block you from my YouTube channel, and your email address will be used to filter you out of the request form so that you cannot submit anything in the future. Now, this is actually something, I don't advertise it, but this is something I already put into place on my YouTube channel. If people put a kind of rude comment, sometimes I'll just delete their comment, but if it's outright like bullying and toxic, then I hide that user from the channel. What that means is they can see my videos and they can comment, but nobody can see their comment, including me. They're still technically engaging with the channel, so I guess that's kind of helpful for me, but nobody will see what they've written. I won't get notified of their comment, anything like that. And I just do that if people are really toxic. So it's something that I already have in place for the YouTube channel, but this will allow me to extend it to the request form because I think the anonymity of the request form last year allowed people to use it to say things they wouldn't dare to say on the YouTube comments where they could face consequences. So part of the reason why this has multiple fields now isn't just for organization, it is also to allow for consequences for those people. A couple of examples that I can think of off the top of my head to kind of give you an idea of the kind of comments that won't be tolerated. We've had a lot from solo stands for ENHYPEN putting down other members and saying that they're not as good or don't deserve as much love as a particular member, for example. Someone used the request form to criticize how I was running my channel, the fact that my videos were really long, but I could get more content in them if I didn't talk as much, for example. Stuff like that. Again, not appreciated, and it really is up to you as a viewer to curate your own content. It is up to you to kind of watch something and be like, actually, I don't like this, I'm gonna go find something I do like, rather than expecting a creator to kind of pander to you and make content specifically that you would like. The world does not revolve around one person. So that responsibility really does lie with you, and I do not open this request form to receive comments about how I'm doing things with my channel. So again, these are the kind of things that just won't be tolerated going forward. Now, every field is mandatory except one, because you don't have to write anything there if you don't want to. But you start off by putting in your email address. Then you have to put in what your YouTube username is. I'm assuming if you're here and you're submitting requests for me to react to things, that you do have a YouTube account. You will need to put in your username. Then you have to put in the name of the group, artist, or BL series that you are requesting. So if it's a K-pop group, you would put in the name of the K-pop group. If it's a BL series, you would put in the name of the series. It is important to just keep this field to the specific name of what you want me to react to. So you don't really want to be typing in here like a newly debuted group called blah de blah, for example. You don't really want to be doing that. Just put in the name of the group or artist or series that you want me to react to, because the next box down is the optional one, and that is where you can kind of put in anything about the group. So it says comment or message. You can use this to tell me about the group, the content you are requesting, or anything else you want to say. Quite often, a lot of the requests that come through have a very nice note for me about my channel and stuff like that. That can still go in here. I do really appreciate the kind words that you guys say, so thank you very much. But this is optional, so if you don't have anything you want to say, you don't have to. But this is where you would kind of tell me about the group or whatever you want me to know. And then finally, the last field is the links, where you would just copy and paste links. You don't have to paste links if you don't want to. If you just want to tell me the name of the song, you can. That's absolutely fine. I will look it up myself. It's just that links are often easier. Sometimes I get a request to watch something and there's multiple versions, and then I get told I watched the wrong version. The easiest way around that is if you just link me to exactly what you want me to look at. But again, I know a lot of people don't want to do that, and they just want to kind of submit the name of the song. That's absolutely fine as well. Please don't think I'm going to ignore your request because it doesn't come with links. That's not the case. And that's it. It really is as simple as that. So what group are we going to look into next? Only one of. And it's going to be the B series. And I can't be bothered to find links, so we're going to do B series. How many videos is it? 6? Something like that. You can select to send a copy of your responses to your email address if you want, and then you can submit. And that's it. And you can submit another response if you, again, have more links or another group that you want me to check out. This is what it looks like for me. When I go to responses, when I go to view it in Sheets like I do for the old one, I get all of these nice drop downs with filters. Now you can see here that other people have tested this for me before I have made it live, but I still get the date that you guys submitted the request, and even the time, which is new. That didn't happen before. I get the email address, the YouTube name, the name of the group, basically everything that was submitted. And I can actually filter these. This really just helps with organizing, because if I know that I am going to be making a video on Enhypen, for example, then I can filter and I can just select Enhypen or search for Enhypen, and it's just going to show me the Enhypen requests. This is going to make it so much easier to find stuff, because I get so many requests for Enhypen. If I want to react to like Stray Kids, for example, there ain't no way I can find it in all of those Enhypen requests, right? Even if I search, like Control F, search for Stray Kids, some people may have mentioned Stray Kids in other requests where there's been collabs or just in general talking about the group. So it can be really tedious to find exactly what I'm looking for, and this is why these extra fields are so important. They are going to help so much with the organizing and management of the form. And that is how we are looking. So when I get the requests come through, it will eventually fill up more and more, but it will be a lot easier for me to see exactly what has been requested and by who. Anyway, I hope that kind of gives an idea of how it works. It's basically the same form, exactly the same as it was before. I've just got a few extra fields to help me with management and also to help kind of get a control over people that use the anonymity of the previous form to say whatever they want, rather than just allowing them to keep making requests with, you know, the same kind of vile comments. This is going to allow me to just block them out and they won't be able to submit anything for me to see. Going forward into 2025, I do still want to react to some new K-pop groups, not just kind of circling back to the same ones. So if you have any, when I say new, I mean new to me. They don't have to be like newly debuted, but they can be if you've got any groups that have newly debuted or they've been around for a while but I've never looked into them. Please feel free to recommend them to me. Although I love kind of revisiting groups that I already know and love, there's nothing really that beats the feeling of like discovering a group that I didn't know existed and absolutely loving their music. You never know which is going to be like the next one to really capture my heart. I've loved a lot of what I've looked into over the last kind of a year and a bit. There have been groups that have become my alt groups, like ATEEZ. There have been groups that just have such a special place in my heart and make me feel so good, like Plave and Treasure. There's groups that I really want to circle back to, like EXO and GOT7, and I've just not had the time yet. So there's still so much for me to do and to check out. So I definitely want to continue that going into 2025. So yeah, if you've got any new groups for me to check out, if you want me to circle back to anything, if there's anything that on the old form I haven't reacted to that maybe I just didn't get around to, or it got lost in all of the responses, but you're really gutted that I haven't reacted to it, do feel free to submit it again on the new form. There are no guarantees that I will react to everything. There are some requests that I look at and go, I don't think that's for me. So there's no promises that if you submit a request, it's going to get reacted to. But again, I do appreciate everything that is sent in. And there are a lot of requests on that form that I did want to get round to and I just couldn't find them, or I didn't have time, stuff like that. So you definitely feel free to submit them again. Other than that, my future plans for recording at the moment, I want to do a video on Stray Kids because I've not caught up with their comebacks at all. I'm probably just going to do one video on the latest album. I think there's like a whole bunch of music videos now that I can check out. I've not listened to anything from the new album, not even the title track. So I would like to do a video on them and kind of get caught up with that album. And then I can probably listen to the B-sides from Giant in my own time. I still have Nicki's video for Enhypen to record. He is the last member of Enhypen that will be getting his own video. I have not recorded that yet, and I will be using the old form as best I can to kind of make that. I did also put up a community post, but I think people may have misunderstood what I said because it's all over, the responses are all over the place. So I did say just put one group in one comment, and if you want to say multiple groups, split them into different comments, and then to check the responses to see if the group that you wanted to say had already been mentioned. So if someone has already commented the group you think of, don't duplicate the response or it won't be counted. Just like the comment that you agree with, but people have not done that. The reason I said that is because if I've got 3 comments that say like Tempest, for example, and one's got 14 likes and one's got 11 and one's got 3, I don't know if the same person has liked all 3 of those comments. And therefore it looks like there's more votes for that group than there actually are. So the idea was to have someone comment Tempest and then everyone like that comment so that I can see, okay, 23 people want a video on Tempest. We did not get that. We have groups that have got multiple comments, and we also have comments that have got multiple groups in. So like this one has got multiple groups in and then 3 people have liked it, but I don't know which one they're voting for when they hit the like button because there's multiple. So although I had great intentions with this of picking like a winner for a group that I've never checked out and a group that I need to circle back to, and it was going to be like an easy way for me to decide what to do next, it kind of all fell apart. So I'm sorry if I kind of wasted your time with this, but it just did not go how I tried to set it out. The main groups people want me to react to are BTS, Plave. I love Plave. I love Plave. I watch their live streams all the time. There's a couple of votes for EXO and for GOT7, Zero Base One, and Only One Of. I think they're like the main ones. For new groups that I've not checked out, we've got Illit. There's actually not many for groups that I've not checked out. I feel like, am I getting there? have I found every current K-pop group? SF9, I think I've listened to one song by them, right? It was like one of the first K-pop videos I ever did on the channel. POW, P-O-W, they're a newer, smaller group. aespa is one I've not reacted to. I've reacted to Le Sserafim. Kiss of Life I've not reacted to. Illit, IVE. So these are all girl groups that I have just not reacted to yet. So there's some new ones as well. Chungha. Oh, I would love to do a video on Chungha. I listened to 3 of her songs, I think, and I'm obsessed with all of them. Cat's Eye is one that I've not really checked out either. Mostly girl groups for the new ones, I think. I think in terms of boy groups, I'm probably there. TNX? Never heard of them. Could be a girl group, could be a boy group, who knows? I would love to see you react to Zykas. I reacted to Zykas. Oh, I reacted to Tricky House by Zykas. It's the only thing I reacted to. It's not a good reaction and I don't recommend you watch it. I didn't get on with it at all until I heard it live when I went to London. And when they performed it live, I kind of like fell in love with it, and yeah, I don't. The way I feel about Tricky House and about Zykas in general is nothing like how I felt when I did that reaction video, so I don't recommend you watch it. But they could get their own video. That's technically kind of a new group. But yeah, I think that's about it for the new groups on this. But yeah, it's very difficult because this didn't work out the way that I was hoping it would. Okay, anyway, that's my plans for 2025. We've got a Stray Kids video. We've got Nikki's video for Enhypen. Some ones that I personally would like to do, regardless of requests, is I would love to do the Only One Of video with the B series, because I know that multiple people requested that at the time that I reacted to Only One Of, and I just never got around to it, and I was like, sorry. So I would really like to do that. Someone commented on the Christmas songs, K-pop songs video, and they told me that about the Woods person. Apparently he's got a whole bunch of music that they think I would like. Yeah, I don't know. Everything else is kind of up in the air at the moment. But that's the general idea going forward, and then we will see what comes through on our brand new request form. Anyway, I've made this way longer than I intended, as usual. If anyone has any queries or comments about the request form, if anything's not working quite right, or anything that's, you know, really confusing, just let me know in the comments down below and I will try to explain it as best I can. But that is it for now. I hope you guys have a great new year, and I will see you in 2025 where we can check out some more great music and just have lots more fun times. All right, that is it for now. Bye!